an incredible city to visit and easily ranks as one of Australia's best places to explore. Not only is it a vibrant and totally cool city, but it also has a lot of the best things to do in Melbourne spread across the country. In a diverse and exciting city, there's always something to do in Melbourne. Whatever your interests, whether you're a first-time visitor to Melbourne or have lived here all your life, there are some must-do Melbourne bucket list items that can't be missed. Here are the 13 best things to do in Melbourne, Australia 2024. If you are new here, subscribe for more travel videos. Don't miss our upcoming travel videos. Now let's begin. Number 1. Flinders Street Station. Flinders Street Station, the busiest commuter railway in the Southern Hemisphere, is a must-see of all Melbourne's attractions. When you're at Flinders Street Station, you can admire the beautiful yellow Victorian building, explore its interior, and get lost going up and down the floors. On the 3rd floor, unfortunately, there is an old abandoned banquet hall that is closed to visitors. However, you can always take a leap of faith and politely ask an attendant to let you in. Finally, be sure to also check out Federation Square across the street. Fun fact, Flinders Street Station opened in 1854, making it the first station in an Australian city. Number 2. Royal Botanic Gardens. Located across the river from the MCG and within walking distance of the CBD, this urban oasis is a surprisingly peaceful part of the city. Here, you can have a picnic on the lawn, go hunting on the lake, or walk through a forest full of towering ferns. I tend to follow the same walking route through the gardens. Enter through Gate A and walk counterclockwise around the perimeter of the ornamental lake. Once I'm back at the start, I follow the signs to Guilfoyle's volcano on the right. This part of the garden is my favorite. The volcano is actually a reservoir. Its water is pumped up by the ornamental lake, and then gravity helps distribute it through the earth to the rest of the garden's plant. The view from the top is particularly impressive, looking out over the Melbourne skyline in the distance, while the dry park stretches out below you. Number 3. Crown Casino. Crown Casino is part of a massive casino and resort complex located south of Melbourne CBD, adjacent to the Yarra River. If you like the fun, excitement, and atmosphere of a casino, you won't be disappointed when you visit Crown. It is one of the largest casino complexes in the Southern Hemisphere and one of the largest casino complexes in Australia. It's only closed on 3 public holidays a year, so you can go any time of the week at all hours of the day and night if you choose. Even if you have someone in your party who doesn't like gambling, there are great places in the mall for that perfect souvenir. There is a wide range of restaurants to sample as well as a bustling nightlife. Don't forget to check out the atrium with fountains, sound and light shows, and pyrotechnic towers. Number 4. Street art and sculpture. Melbourne is well known for its street art culture. A must-see when visiting Melbourne is Hosier Lane, where you will always find street artists working on their creations. You can also check out Aches Lane and Centre Station. On another note, when you travel around Melbourne, you will find that there are many sculptures scattered around the city. Ranging from the surreal to the realistic, each of these sculptures shares its own story with those who passed through it. Check out this walking mess. In 56 minutes, this 3.7 km walk takes you to some of Melbourne's most famous sculptures. If you're into art a bit, I suggest you check out this street art tour where you'll be able to admire some of the top Melbourne pieces. Basically one of those walking the streets art gallery tours. Number 5. Wander Queen Victoria Market. This open-air market is the largest open-air market in the Southern Hemisphere, made up of both indoor and outdoor areas and spanning 2 entire city blocks. It's a mix of food vendors and craft vendors. Think flea market meets food market. During the week, the food court is the main draw, but weekend offerings are bigger as vendors fill the outdoor sales space. While you're at the food hall, be sure to get free wine samples from Sword Wines. The staff are friendly and the wine is cheap. We bought 2 bottles for an afternoon drink in the park. Don't miss the jam donuts either. They have been a staple there for over 50 years. In the warmer months, don't miss the summer night market. This popular night market runs every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. to 10 p.m. November 23, March. Free to enter, there will be live music as well as tons of different food stalls from dumplings to gyros, burritos, ice cream, barbecue, and more. Number 6. Melbourne Zoo. Just outside of Melbourne, in the city's beautiful northern neighborhood, is Melbourne Zoo. One of the best family activities in Melbourne is exploring the zoo, home to over 300 different species. Melbourne Zoo is modeled on London's equivalent and has been a major attraction since opening in 1862. Most of the species here are found in different habitats representing different parts of the world. Popular exhibits include the Aussie Outback, where you'll find native kangaroos, emus, and koalas. Not just for viewing elephants and giraffe, Melbourne Zoo also focuses on education. There are several programs for youth and adults that aim to develop an appreciation for conservation. Number 7. State Library of Victoria. The State Library is just across the road from Melbourne Gaol, so I'd recommend doing both on the same visit. This is one of my favorite buildings in the city, and I love taking visitors here to photograph the pleasing symmetry from the dome's viewing platform. Imagine being a student in Melbourne and getting to work in a library like this. However, one of the biggest mistakes visitors make is to go to the viewing platform, take their photo, and leave. This massive building is much more than a library. On some trips, we've managed to spend around 3 hours roaming around all it has to offer. The best way to explore space is to go up and down. When you enter the library, look for the signs for the dome galleries and follow them. Once you reach the reading room, hop on one of the elevators and take it to the top floor. That's where you'll find the famous viewpoint you can see in my photo above. Just a warning, avoid visiting the State Library during lunch hours on weekends. Protests are held outside the building every Saturday and Sunday, with hundreds and sometimes thousands of people turning out for each. It's noisy, crowded, and difficult to navigate past. Number 8. Hiking in the Dandenong Mountains. After a few slices of brie, head to the mountains for a day of hiking. Although outside the city, the Dandenong Ranges are still part of the greater Melbourne area. Within the ranges, you'll find a number of hiking trails to suit all abilities and motivations. A short drive from the city centre offers beautiful views of the Australian bush. Popular trails include the Living Bush Nature Walk, 2 miles, and the Short Burks Lookout, 0.3 miles, located at the top of Kima Mountain. For a thigh-burning challenge, check out the famous 1,000 steps for yourself. The aptly named journey should give you an idea of what lies ahead, often taking an hour to complete. Your stamina and mental strength will be tested as you enjoy nothing more than the climb. On the way down, your legs will be jelly, and take your time to appreciate the lyrebirds singing. Other fun attractions in the Dandenong Ranges include Puffing Billy and the Alfred Nicholas Memorial Gardens. Number 9. The best coffee shop in the world. On popular website Booking.com, Melbourne was voted to have the best coffee in the world, beating the old capitals coffee masters Rome and Vienna. People drink coffee for the caffeine, the taste, and the social aspect. There's nothing like heading to a local Melbourne coffee shop for a caffeine fix as you catch up with friends, make new ones, or take advantage of the free Wi-Fi. Fortunately for visitors to Melbourne, it's hard to find a bad cup of coffee in this city, where the baristas are knowledgeable and dedicated. As the world leader in coffee and cafe culture, Melbourne is proud to call it itself the home of the world's best coffee. But don't be surprised if you run into a few coffee snobs or become one yourself, as these coffee experts have brought their high standards and industry knowledge to other countries around the world. You may want to note that cafes all over London will advertise that they have hired baristas from Melbourne. Number 10. Penguins on Phillip Island. Melbourne and Victoria's best attractions are only a 2-hour direct drive away. At the end of Phillip Island, there is a nightly penguin parade. This natural phenomenon sometimes causes thousands of penguins to return to their shelters on the beach. You can enjoy the spectacular view from the comfort of the seats built on the sand. From there, an expert narrator will guide you through the experience. Soaring from the ocean to the first penguin will give you chills as the cute creature heads home. Number 11. Ride a tram. You don't need a college degree to drive a tram in Melbourne. Riding the tram is as easy as choosing where you want to go when deciding on the next big thing to do in Melbourne. With the first tram operating in 1889, Melbourne's tram network is one of the oldest and few surviving tram systems in the world. With a selection of trams from the older, more traditional historical trams to the modern bendy trams, you are sure to enjoy the experience. Melbourne's trams are an easy way to get to local attractions, and there's even a free City Circle tram featuring some of our best historic trams that regularly run around the CBD with maps and easy-to-understand maps. A special restaurant tram for those who want something extra special. If you stick to the CBD, your tram journey is free, but if you venture further afield, you'll need a Mikey smart card. Number 12. Explore the Yarra Valley. The Barossa Valley may be Australia's premium winemaking region, but less than an hour from Melbourne, it's also one of the most picturesque. The stunning green hills with vineyards and farmland are an escape from the hustle and bustle of the city centre. But the Yarra Valley produces amazing wines and ciders. Many estates open their doors on a daily basis, welcoming visitors and allowing them to try new and old creations. Many of the region's top estates have an extensive menu, allowing you to enjoy not only the perfect Pinot Noir but also a meal amidst stunning views. See the best of the Yarra Valley while sampling delicious wines and tasty treats on this 8-hour guided tour. Number 13. Visit the Immigration Museum. One of Melbourne's top museums is the Immigration Museum. Modern Australia is a diverse community with people from all over the world. Housed in the historic Old Customs House, the museum tells the stories of generations of immigrants who left their lives behind to start anew. Many fascinating stories of newcomers make for interesting reading. Many displays will help visitors understand both the journey to Australia and the hardships they faced once they arrived, from the Gold Rush era to the 20th century. A top exhibit within the Immigration Museum is the Customs Gallery. The gallery explores the Old Customs House, which was a focus point for immigration along with trade in the 1800s.